What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday night, happy Saturday whenever you see this. So, I want to talk a little bit about Awakening of the New Era, OPO5 today, because this box is continuing to see all time highs on TCG Player. The most recent sales that we're seeing here are all around the $185, $190 price point. You do have one here at 270, but 285. 289, 289, like it really is getting up there. And I know you can find this box a little bit cheaper on the open market, but this is reaching all-time highs and it is kind of getting out of control. I do wonder if we are going to see a reprint. I know this box is in rotation, and I know a lot of people say that Bandai's not going to reprint it. People are hoarding cases. Guys, if people were hoarding cases, okay, if people bought cases down here at $125 and the box is now selling for $250, $260, you would be seeing people offload these boxes, and it could potentially start going sideways. We really could see this set trade in that 250, 260 range for the next 6 months. It is possible. That said, I think a lot of people who bought down here last year in that like 120, 130 range, I think a lot of these boxes did end up getting ripped. You can see with a lot of the card prices too, if you look at historical trends here over the past year, I mean, all of these top manga cards just took an absolute beating. And this wouldn't happen if more cards weren't hitting the market, right? Because demand for these cards is always going to be high, especially the Manga Luffy, especially the Monkey D. Luffy stamped Ichiro Oda card, the Trafalgar Law manga card as well. These are some very popular cards that people want to collect, and they have just been absolutely crushed. I mean, this Law last May was over $1,000. The stamped card of Luffy was around $2,000. The Monkey D. Luffy manga card at its peak, almost $4,000 there on the graph, you can see. And these cards now are not selling near that. I mean, the Luffy most recent sale from April 22nd on TCG Player, $3,000. We looked at some PSA 10 cards going for auction on eBay in that 3,000 range as well. The stamp promo is also continuing to climb. And pay attention to like July of last year was around $1,600, right? The most recent sales for this card are 1450 and 1475, both of those from today. Two sales today. That is big. And it's getting close to that like July, early August range again. So we have seen these cards start to rebound. Another example of this is the Law manga. The graph has it around $670. But if you come in here and you look at the most recent near mint foils, okay, this LP, that means lightly played. It's not going to be in good condition. All of the near mints from April 28th, the 22nd, the 16th, two on the 16th, all of these are selling at $800 USD. So this card has definitely rebounded from the bottom around 650. And this just means that there is more demand than supply at the current level. And that is why we're seeing the prices increase on a lot of these cards. But the reason they all tanked is because more cards came to market. So a lot of cases were being opened, if we can go back to the booster box here, in July, August of last year. A lot of cases were being opened. We did see a lot more manga cards hitting the market, a lot of alternate arts hitting the market, and that's why we saw a lot of those prices tank. But they are starting to rebound. The box prices continuing to go up. I think there's less out there than a lot of people think. When we look at the weekly data of how many booster boxes are on the open market, again, that's not a super high number either in terms of days of inventory remaining. I still have 10 boxes of OPO5. I really would like to move a few of them and try and buy a sealed case. That was a mistake I made starting out. I probably should have just spent the extra maybe 5% or so and just gotten a sealed case compared to a lot of loose boxes. I don't think it's going to be a huge difference in the long term. But again, when I am buying investments now, I really do want to focus on sealed cases as much as possible. I'm still hoping, fingers crossed, I get two of my EBO2 cases. And speaking of EBO2, some people have been putting out videos saying that apparently the pull rates are bad on EBO2. Again, I don't buy into stuff like that until I see a large data set. Like if someone opens one case or two cases, honestly, even if you open 10 cases of the product, like that is not a large data set, and people extrapolating that out into kind of just like the entirety of the set and what it's going to be, it doesn't make sense. You really need to see fairly large sample sizes, and I know One Piece, they make a lot less boxes, so it's not realistic for us to think that we're going to get Pokemon-sized samples, right? If that makes sense. But at least get a respectable sample size going before you make any type of claim in terms of the pull rates or how many boxes are going to have 2 hits or 3 hits. That's just my opinion. I want to see something respectable. Either way, though, I think the set is going to be great. And that's not just because I've purchased a lot of it for pre-order. The Manga Luffy card will be expensive. I think it's going to be well over $1,000. You have the Boa Hancock reprint, another Luffy. We've talked about this multiple times on the channel. It's not going to be as deep as OP11. We all know that. OP13 is looking like it's going to be decent as well. Even some of these OP12 cards that are coming out look decent as well. So there's a lot to look forward to this year from Bandai and from One Piece. And I think you should be putting a decent amount of money towards OP11 and maybe even pre-ordering OP13. I know we haven't got leaks yet, but it might be worth the risk of getting a case. I still haven't decided if I want to pre-order a case. Hobbiesville does have some boxes up still, I believe. They did over the past couple days. So if you want to get one, I will link that in the description somewhere, affiliate link if you guys want to support the channel. Outside that though, if you don't have any OP05, I would definitely get some level of exposure to OP05. And it may get reprinted, it may not, but if it doesn't, it's just going to continue to go over the next 6 months, over the next year, 2 years. It's not going to matter 3 years. A lot of people are going to want to open this in the future. They're going to want to chase the Monkey D. Luffy manga card. They're going to want to chase the Ichiro Oda stamped card. I mean, these two alone is just enough of a reason to want to purchase a set. But you also have the Law manga. You have the Captain manga. So lots of good things going for OP05. And outside these cards, you still have a decent supporting cast. You have the Nami reprint. I believe this is from Romance Dawn. Great card there. We don't have to explain why. You have the Uta. This is a reprint from Paramount War, I believe. You have the Yamato, which is also from Romance Dawn. I'm pretty sure these are all reprint cards. I just wanted to throw this in here too. The regular Monkey D. Luffy. This is basically the same artwork as the stamped card from the Ichiro Oda, just a little bit different. This card's up 165% over the past 6 months. It was down to around $5. Now it's actively trading in that like 12 to 14-ish dollar range. So a lot of these cards, you can make profit on them if you pick them up at the right time. Maybe some of them have, a purpose in the meta. Maybe some of them are just for collectible purposes. Kind of like the mangas up top. Like if people are buying the Law, if they're buying the Luffy, they're buying these for their collection. Maybe they want to grade them, whatever. So even when the set rotates out in 2027, there's going to be reasons why people are going to want to get their hands on a box of OP05. That's all I wanted to say in this video, guys. You let me know in the comments down below if you're still picking up OP05 at this price, around that 240, 250, 260 USD range. I'm seeing stores in Canada that had a lot of boxes maybe like a month ago. They definitely have a lot less. I've seen stores moving their price up to around 330 Canadian. I see a lot more instead of that like 300, 315 range. So definitely is continuing to dry up over the weeks. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. We're also getting very close to 1,000 subs, so I appreciate you guys joining the channel. We're just getting started. Lots more to come. I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay safe if you're going out. Drink responsibly, and I'll catch you in the next one.